Marc from The Thoughtful Gamer, and this is Reviews of the Nerds. Today I'll be reviewing the board game The Search for Planet X. Deduction is rigid, which makes it difficult to incorporate into board games which thrive best in the rivers of uncertainty and doubt. If a deduction problem can be solved, it can be solved absolutely, at which point it simply becomes a matter of figuring out what the solution is. The Search for Planet X by Ben Rossett and Matthew O'Malley might be just about as good of a deduction game as can be made. It understands the limitations of the genre and does its best to mitigate them as much as possible. Where great deduction games like Planet X or the Shipwreck Arcana succeed is in the non-certain elements. Planet X creates those fuzzy edges on the periphery of the central deduction puzzle in a couple of ways. First, it challenges you to ask the right questions. Everyone is searching for the slippery Planet X, which must live on one of the 18 segments of the sky. 4 other bodies live in the sky, each following their own rules. You've got 3 tools for discovering where everything is located. You can target an area and simply learn what's there. You can survey a wedge of the sky, searching for one type of stellar body and learning how many exist in said wedge. Or you can research and learn a new rule, like no asteroids appear within 2 spaces of a gas cloud. These are your tools, and you must use them wisely to discover knowledge as quickly as possible. The second way Planet X pushes beyond cut and dry deduction is by allowing you to know the questions your opponents are asking. On more than one occasion, I've been baffled at the survey Amber just initiated, given what I thought I knew about what she knew, and had to return to my notes to try to squeeze knowledge from this information. The Search for Planet X is a superior deduction game that presents a satisfying puzzle. When I solved for Planet X in my first game, I jumped up from my chair in excitement. My question is, can deduction games improve on The Search for Planet X without becoming something else entirely? Thanks for listening. Again, I'm Marc from The Thoughtful Gamer, and if you want to see more board game reviews, go to thethoughtfulgamer.com. Hey
everyone, I'm Hector Miray, and this is Faith and Fandom 180 on LTN Radio. So this weekend, my kids and I decided to go spend a quality usage of popcorn and watch Uncharted. Now, being that I am a long-term Xbox guy, and I've never actually owned a PlayStation, I've not played the Uncharted games, and minus the really cool little YouTube short with Nathan Fillion playing Drake, I don't have a lot to go on. I know there's like a gun holster, and it's kind of a burly man Tomb Raider, but that's all I got. So when I watched into this movie, I had 0 expectations, 0 understanding, 0 anything to really compare it to. And whatever I got out of that movie was what I was going to take away about who Nathan Drake was, and Sully, and all the rest of it. Like, literally, that was going to be my only representation, because I still don't see me owning a PlayStation. Not that I don't want to, because I'd love to play Uncharted and The Last of Us and God of War and, Ghost of Tsushima. Or, yeah, I'd like to do all those things, but I'm just not dropping dollars on it. But when we have something as a representative, it becomes our only source of understanding, really, until we have an opportunity to learn more. So that was my representative. That was my ambassador into the world of Uncharted. And I know we live in an age where everybody and their mama knows about Jesus, but we are still Christ's ambassadors. 2 Corinthians 5:20 says, "Therefore we are ambassadors for Christ, God making his appeal through us. We implore you, on behalf of Christ, be reconciled to God." Just like Tom Holland literally gave me my first real exposure to Nathan Drake, You might be someone's first real exposure to Jesus beyond just hearing about Jesus. And you want people to be able to walk away from that experience at least encouraged or curious and not put off.
Remember to catch Faith and Fandom 180 every Wednesday morning on the Back Row Morning Show, only on LTN Radio. And if you'd like to learn more about Faith and Fandom, head over to faithandfandom.org, where you can learn about our Comic-Con ministry, podcasts, memes, apparel, and book series. You can even read new chapters before they make it to the next book.
I'm Hector Miray, and thank you for spending the last 180 seconds with me.
This week in Nerd History in Living Color.
Nerd History.
Although it may be hard to believe, development of the color television goes back as far as the development of the black and white television. In fact, the world's first color transmission occurred in 1928, and the world's first color broadcast occurred 10 years later. However, it would not be until nearly 2 decades later that color television technology advanced enough to be introduced to the general public. On February 28, 1954, the first color TV sets using the National Television Systems Committee standard were produced and sold to the public. Prior to developing the NTSC standard, broadcasting color television was not feasible because it consumed 3 times as much bandwidth as black and white broadcasts. The NTSC approved a system by RCA to solve this problem. RCA's all-electronic system encoded color information based on the brightness information, which was the key they were looking for. To this day, the NTSC standard is considered one of the most monumentous technical achievements in television history. During the 1950s, color televisions and broadcasts were slow to gain popularity amongst consumers and networks. The 1960s witnessed a great spike in color television sales, which was largely in part to the color broadcasting transition of 1965. By the 1970s, color televisions were the standard and could be found in homes nationwide. I know we all enjoyed those black and white episodes of WandaVision, but thanks to RCA not giving up on a consumer-ready color TV, they paved the way for the 4K vibrant color flat screens we have now. I'm Radio Matt. See you next time for more
Nerd History.